Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the case may be in your part of the world. I am Justin Emo Hollingwolf, also known as Emo Hollingwolf 2010 on YouTube. That's the handle that YouTube gave me. So anyway, I want to take you down a trip down memory lane of something that happened to Emo 20 years ago. And if I had a choice to do the same thing all over again, I'd probably say no. I probably wouldn't have bought my first computer. So yes, today is the day that Emo got his first computer. And I shaved my beard off because in 2003, I didn't have a beard. At least not as bad as it was over the last few videos. Now, I sent this picture to Nemesis earlier. And I said, damn it, Nemesis, I look like Jay. And he goes, yeah, you know. So I look like Jay. Okay. All right. No pun intended. That wasn't a shot, Jay. That wasn't. I'm just having a little fun with you. But yeah. So damn it, even if me and Jay were related, look at that fucking thing. Look at that. Huh? Look at that. So, anyways, it's just coincidence that I happen to look like Jay a little bit in that picture. But anyways, on this day, back in February 14th of 2003, 20 years ago, damn cigars, they don't stay lit. Emo bought his first computer. Well, actually, I take it back. I actually ordered it the beginning of February. And back then, Dell was so popular. Dell was so popular at getting, and they were top in the game. They were like, oh, you can order a computer, and 14 days later you would have it, because they would make it instantaneously. They pretty much had the damn things pretty much made anyway. All they used to do is just pop open the case and add whatever. Oh, he doesn't want a stock video card? We'll throw a different video card in. So, anyways, back in good old 2013, I was living in this house. Approximately 3:30 something in the afternoon, there came a knock at this front door that you see on the screen here. And that happens to be the house that I was living on. That house is at the corner of Edgewater Road and Pleasant Street in the town of Wakefield, Rhode Island. I'm not going to give you a street address because I don't want to dox the current people who live there. And there's been a couple of owners since that changed hands a couple times. I haven't lived at this house since 2005, so there is no real reason to pick up, bug them at that address. But anyway, that was the house, and that was the door of infamy where the first computer was delivered. And the computer was a Dell. Dimension 2350. That's what the computer was. It was a Dell Dimension 2350. Now, my computer pretty much looked the same as that, but I didn't have that big fucking subwoofer. You see the subwoofer next to the tower with the M on it? Mine didn't come with that. So, pretty much the rest of that computer, the speakers, the keyboard, the mouse, the tower, and the monitor is pretty much what I got my setup anyway. I didn't order the subwoofer, that big giant subwoofer thing. That didn't come with mine. But that was pretty much the computer. It was a Dimension 2350 by Dell. Alright, so now I'm going to show you another picture here. Nope, not that one. Is it this one? Alright, this is what the side of the house looked like. Now, if you look at the picture, you notice that I did some authorizations to this Google Chrome pet. Where you see that big black fucking line off the corner of the house where it then turns into silver. That's where my serial 827 ground plane was. And I still have that same serial 827 ground plane. Also, when I lived in this house, the same time I got my computer, I also bought that desk. The desk that you seen when I was at 74 Kimball Avenue. The desk you seen when that's in my Florida trailer, and I still have that desk to this day. Even though I'm not in Florida at my trailer, I'm at an undisclosed location, but I still have the CB antenna, the desk, and yes, I still have the Dimension 2350 computer with the monitor, the original keyboard, and mouse. The system came with a Windows XP operating system. Now, the reason why I altered the house a little bit, you see the black line that turns to silver at the top. That's to imitate where my antenna pole was, and because it was an aluminum antenna, I put the gray or silver at the top of the pole so you would kind of get the gist of where the CB antenna was. If you look at the house now, there's a big sliding glass door on this side of the house in that back room. That wasn't there back then. Back when I lived there, there was a 4-panel sliding glass window there, where you can see where I made it in like the teal or lightest, I don't know what color that is, where you can see the 4-pane window, right? And right where that fucking star is where that fucking desk was. It was right, because that's why I bought a corner desk. You remember my desk was a corner desk. So it sat between the corner of the window and the other side of the porch, which you can't see, where the antenna was bolted to. The CB antenna was bolted to. That was my room. I still have that desk to this day. I still have the CB antenna. I still have the pipe that was attached. And that was my room back in 2013. So today is the day in this house marks the 20th anniversary of when emo got online. And like I said, most of my time online wasn't present. There was a few close friends I had, but just like in my whole life, I've been fucked with my whole life. So anyway, let me get rid of this house now and go back to the camera. So anyways, yep, but nope. But anyway, that was nope. I want that on. So yep, that was the house I was living in at the time I got my first computer. I still have that desk. And that's why when you've seen it on camera and you've seen me raging at Gary, that's why the top of that desk was so battered and beat up. Remember, the paint was peeling? Because that desk is 20 years old today. Because when I knew the computer was coming to the house, and I knew it was coming by delivery, they said between the 14th and the 16th of February that the new computer was coming, I went to Walmart and I bought that desk, which I still have today. Yep. So today was the start of it all, people, and now I'm going to take you down memory lane a little bit. So we were all a bunch of us were all in CB radios. We had the tri-state sidebanders, we had the northeast sidebanders, we had the Rhode Island Independent Network was another sidebander, and one of my best friends at the time, Jeff, he was a member of all three. I'm not going to give you his username because he still uses that username to this day on Pound Talk Messenger. So he went from fucking Yahoo when it closed to Pal Talk, which is still open. And that's why I'm not going to give you his username. But he knew I was getting a computer. And he says, well, the first thing I want you to do, because my name was Ed back then, he goes, the first thing I want you to do, Ed, is I want you to download Yahoo. I want you to make an account, and when you make an account, add my username, da 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 da, and I'll send you a link to the chat room, the Native American chat room, where Emo got the name Howling Wolf from. This is all happening 20 years ago in February. So I get into Yahoo, and the minute I come into the fucking chat room, Jeff comes unglued. He's yelling at me over the mic. I'm like, what the fuck are you yelling at me? I didn't actually say that, but I said, what are you yelling at me for? I was thinking to myself in my head, why is Jeff getting angry? And he's like, you stupid, dumb fuck, you don't come on the internet with your real fucking name. And like I said, I was brand new to the internet. This was my fucking first computer. And my first provider was Verizon at the time. It was Verizon DSL. That's what the first provider was. So being in Wakefield, Narragansett, Rhode Island, I was able to have good fucking internet. So I make out my username on YouTube, and I mean on Yahoo, and I still remember it to this day. And I made sure to delete the account; it don't exist no more. Was Edward J. Scarrow 961. And what he was going off about was, he's like, you idiot, you never use your real name on YouTube. And it was just him, and the Native American room was a private room on Yahoo. It just says to me, you got to change your name, dude. Don't go into any other rooms with that name. Just stay in here, talk to us tonight, but we got to come up with another name. You can't use your real fucking name in a fucking chat room. And I can say my name now because I changed it later on when I got married. So Edward J. Scarrow is not my name anymore. So good luck trying to use it, trolls. Anyways. So to make the long story short, I'm in the room. The Native Americans room at the time was called 3 Arrows Lodge. And I'm not going to tell you what the chief's name was. And he comes in the room. And he comes back in from doing whatever he was doing, and he's like, Jeff, why are you screaming over in my room over the mic? He's like, well, the problem is that Ed here came and made a fucking Yahoo account in his fucking real name, something you don't do on the internet. And the chief of the Native American Lodge and said, yeah, we got to come up with a better name. And I know that Native Americans they believe that everybody has an animal spirit and everybody's associated with the earth and animals and all this other stuff. And Jeff was part Native American, and it was a group of Native American people. That's what this chat room was about. And he said, and they call God the creator. And he says to me, well, Ed, I'll tell you what. If you can't come up with a username for yourself, just ask God or the creator, whatever you want to call him, to give you the answer. Well, and I said it the other way. I said it kind of wrong. Native Americans believe that they all have an animal totem, too. That's the part I left out. So, the chief of the room comes to me and he says, and I quote, he says, "Before you go to bed, I want you to pray to God and the Creator and ask Him to reveal what your animal spirit is. And He will reveal your animal spirit while you're sleeping. And I will do some things at my end to help you dream that dream." And I'm like, okay, all right. So I went to bed that night, and all I could fucking hear were wolves howling all fucking night. All I kept hearing was wolves howling all. So tonight, when I went to bed, tonight, like if I was to go to bed tonight, 20 years ago tonight, like when I went to bed, all I could hear was wolves howling repeatedly. Wolves howling, wolves howling, wolves howling. So the next morning, the first thing I get up, the room is already open. I message Jeff for an invite. I get invited back to the room, and the chief is on this camera, and he's on the mic, and he says, "What will your name be?" And I told him all I heard was wolves howling. And he says, "Yep, you're absolutely right." And I said, "What?" Because he had basically had the same fucking dream. He had heard wolves howling at his end too. He says, "You are to leave this Native American room right now. You are to go. You are to go out of. You are to go out of this room. And you are going to go re-sign up for Yahoo as Howling Wolf." And that's when I became Howling Wolf on February 15th, 2003. February 15th, 2003 is when I got the name. And for some reason they added this to it. And I never really liked the way it sounded, but I type in Howling Wolf, and I couldn't get Howling Wolf because there were so many fucking people using the name Howling Wolf or Howling this or Howling that. I couldn't get the name for some reason because somebody else already had it. So it said Lone Howling Wolf, Lone _ Howling Wolf. And I clicked on it. And that became my new name in the Native American Lodge. Lone _ Howling Wolf. And if you add yahoo.com to it, you can email Howling Wolf, because guess what, motherfuckers? Guess what? So as I was saying, there's Yahoo email address. Why is it highlighting shit like that? We get it. As you can see, it says loan. And if I click on this, there's the email address. And I've had that. As of tomorrow, I will have had this address 20 fucking years. This was the first account, ladies and gentlemen. The first fucking account with the Howling Wolf branding on it. This is the first fucking account, ladies and gentlemen. The first fucking email. The first fucking emo Howling Wolf account. That's what it was. 20 years ago tomorrow. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I've had that fucking email for 20 fucking years, starting tomorrow. Still have it. And of course, whatever name you used on Messenger also became your Yahoo email address. So I registered that username, Lone Howling Wolf. Lone Howling Wolf. $20 years ago. I've had that fucking email. 20 fucking years. Long fucking time. And like I told you this video was going to be long. I know it's getting long and boring, but anyway, it's just a trip down memory lane for me. So we were having a good time on Yahoo. We had a great time on Yahoo. And also around the same time, there was this little program called E4 Chat. There was also a little program that some of us used along with YouTube. And basically what E4 was a program that pretty much copied, well, let me say, Ventrilo pretty much copied E4 Chat. Ventrilo was stolen off of the E4 Chat base. Because there was two partners that created E4 Chat. And then they decided that they wanted to go their separate ways, and the other one created Ventrilo. But we were still using the original one, E4, and some of us were using Ventrilo and Yahoo at the same time. So E4 Chat was a great program, but that's no longer with us. So like I said, we went from Yahoo. I went with the Howling Wolf name. I went from Yahoo. I went to E4 Chat. I also had a Ventrilo server back in the day. We were using all three of those until 2 years later, YouTube decided to pull the rug out from everybody and say that we are no longer allowing people to create user-created rooms. We are not allowing anybody to create user-generated rooms on Yahoo anymore. And it was later on, it was revealed that something happened to an underage kid in a private room, and there was a lawsuit that had a gag order on it, so nobody could talk about it, but you heard rumors of it. But that's one of the reasons why Yahoo got shut down, is because people were doing what Chris Hansen tries to prevent. So, I'll just say it. It was the predators that ruined fucking Yahoo. Yahoo got sued. So they closed the user chat rooms. Late 2005, 2006, they closed the chat rooms on Yahoo. Nobody could create their own private room. So that meant we couldn't have the private lodge anymore. The Native American Lodge. So the 3 hours lodge got moved to Pound Talk, where it remained for another 6 or 7 years until it broke up. I would say probably in 2012, 2011 is when it broke up. It's no longer around. But yeah, so we went from Yahoo to Pal Talk. While I was hanging out on Pal Talk, I met a friend. I heard about YouTube. Now we're into 2007. Created my first YouTube account, which I still have my first YouTube account. It's not this account. I still have my original first YouTube account. I just don't do anything with it. So I still have my original YouTube account. Going all the way back to 2007. And then I was following Renetto. I was following another guy by the name of Zen Archer. And Zen Archer had what we now know as Stickcam. So I went from and at the time in 2007, making video blogs was not my thing. Just wasn't into making video blogs. For some reason, I didn't like the whole I liked video chatting better. So even though I was following Renetto, and then Zen had this thing called Zen Live Radio, Zen Archer had a Stickcam and invited me into his Stickcam. So I got involved in Stickcam. And this is why I have my original YouTube channel, and it's like nothing there on my YouTube channel for like the first 3 years, because from 2007 to 2010, I was hanging out on Stickcam. Then Stickcam turned into I learned about Justin TV. Justin TV is now Twitch. So I went from Stickcam doing live streams and Stickcam to Twitch, and then Twitch I learned about Blog TV, and then so pretty much between 2007 and 2013, I was mainly on Stickcam. I was mainly on Pal Talk. I was mainly on Justin TV, and I was on Blog TV. Because I always liked live streaming. I liked doing radio shows, so that was more interesting to me than doing YouTube. So then, sometime around that time, around 2010, in that mix, I got into video blogging, and because Renetto and Archie kept saying, well, you should make, because we kept talking in chats on Stickcam, and we were talking in chats and fucking Blog TV, and we were talking on chats and Stickcam and a few other places, and Renetto and fucking Zen Archer got me to open up and start doing blogs. And then that's when I created this channel in 2010. Ta-da! Here we go. Emo Howling Wolf's second channel, and the reason why it says Emo Howling Wolf up there is because when I first created this YouTube channel, I was known as Emo Howling Wolf at that time, because during my first few years of the internet, I would get mad at people. I would fly off the handle, and my friends kept telling me, you're emotional, dude. You're emotional. You get too angry too easy, because I had trolls on Blog TV. No matter where, ever since Yahoo to the present day, I've always had to deal with mega trolls that aggravated me, and I always flew off the handle. So, somewhere between the beginning of Yahoo with Lone Howling Wolf until 2010, people kept, because we would have a live chat, and I fucking emo quit the chat. Yeah, you hear the term emo quit? So because I used to get mad with people on Yahoo and shit, I used to get mad with people on Stickcam, and I used to get angry with so many people. They were like, emo, you're an emo quitter. You're a fucking emo quitter. You're not Lone Howling Wolf, you're Emo Howling Wolf. So when I made my second YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, I changed it to Emo Hallingwell. And of course, I'm going to have to open the second water because the other one had to be an asshole to roll under the bed. And I'm not chasing it right now while I'm trying to do a live video. It's alright, they all get drunk anyway. So anyways. And then, in 2013, Stickam got sued for people messing with underage children. Again. So Stickam decided, fuck it, we're going to close. And then at the time that Stickam closed, exactly less than a month later, Blog TV closed. Because it was allegations that dirty deeds were going on. Not only were dirty deeds going on in Stickam, but dirty deeds were going on in Blog TV. So about a month after Stickam closed, we lost Blog TV. 10 years ago. 10 years ago next month. I believe it was March 16, 2013 we lost Blog TV. And Blog TV was attempted to be rebuilt a couple of times, but nobody's got the money because it takes a lot of money to run video servers. I'm going to tell you that right now. It takes a lot of money for video servers. So, yeah. Pedophilia is pretty much what ruined Stickam, Yahoo, and Blog TV. They'll never come out and tell you that, but I'll come out and tell you that because I think that's what happened. That's the way I feel about it. That's what ruined those three sites. There's no doubt in my mind that's what ruined those three sites. And after Blog TV closed, well, let me go back a little bit. I would say sometime in around 2010, before Stickam closed, I happened to be browsing through different shows on Stickam, and I found Von Helton. Hallelujah, Von Helton. Yeah, so I would say probably around 2012 is when I ran into Von Helton's room called the Von Helton's Castle. I still fucking remember it. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of good programs closed. I mean, yep, there was a lot of good programs that ain't no longer with us. And the one out of all that bullshit, you know which ones I missed the most? Out of all that bullshit, I missed Blog TV. That's the number one program that I probably would have never joined YouTube and became a full YouTube broadcaster or YouTube personality if it wasn't for Blog TV closing. Because after Blog TV closed, I tried all of a sudden you had all these fucking imitations come out. You had iVlog, which is still to this day. But I was never liked on iVlog. I was never liked or accepted on iVlog from day one. I've been on iVlog for 10 fucking years, and I've never been accepted or appreciated on iVlog. Pretty much I get no viewers when I go on iVlog. Right after Blog TV closed, I heard about, like I said, I went back to Justin TV because that was still open. But a few months after Blog TV closed, Justin TV became Twitch when it was sold to Amazon. Then there was another one. You Live Now. Then there was instead of iVlog, there was another one called Uvlog. UVLOG. I tried that one. I tried Vaughn. And I used to get people on Blog TV. I used to get an audience on Blog TV and SkipClam. But I never got a fucking audience on Bond Live, Justin TV, which became Twitch, Ublog, or iBlog. I was never accepted on iBlog TV. Never fucking accepted from day one on fucking iBlog. Never. Never fucking accepted on iBlog. During my whole 20 years of being on the internet, I was pretty much an outcast. People always busting my balls. People were always making fun of me. People were always putting me down. People were always trolling me. That's pretty much been my life for 50 fucking years, let alone 20 fucking years on the internet. So, yeah. Like I said, give me a minute here. All right. Where I was rudely interrupted by a sneeze. Anyways. So, yeah, like I said, but the only program that I truly had fun on was Blog TV. And like I said, my original Howling Wolf 2017 channel is still up on YouTube. I just never used it. Now, I don't know if it was because I couldn't remember how to get into my original account. I don't remember why I changed YouTube's. That I can't tell you. Oh, and then the other thing, in 2013, when I got married, I went to probate court and I changed my name, my first name to Justin. So in 2013 is when I added the Justin Emo Howling Wolf account to the name. But, yeah, so back when the trolls started attacking me in 2019, as you can see at the bottom, it says at Emo Howling Wolf. My original YouTube handle was Howling Wolf and nothing else at the end. When I was getting trolled hot and heavy and all the fucking fake emo accounts were showing up, all the fake emo Howling Wolf accounts were showing up left and right, and I had all these trolls all of a sudden, 2019, 2020, 2021, making all these fake emo Howling Wolf accounts that went around porn bombing people when it wasn't me, went around telling lies when it wasn't me, went around deceiving people when it wasn't me, putting out, all kinds of fake information out there into the world. At the time when I first started getting trolled hot and heavy in 2019, you could still change your channel URL. So I said, before somebody, clones my fucking channel, I added the 2010 part. Now you can't change the channel URL. You can't change it now. So even if I wanted to change it to something else, with 2010 at the end, I can't, because now YouTube has made that my permanent fucking handle, which I kind of like it this way. Would I like it to have the Justin in front of it? Of course, I would love it to have the fucking Justin in front of it, but can take what you can get. But yeah, so that was a little history lesson. There were. But like I said, same way I wasn't really accepted on YouTube, haven't been really accepted by anybody in my whole fucking life. So, yeah. If I look back on this, would I have bought? If I could go back 20 years, would I have bought another? Would I have bought another computer and be sitting here right now doing this fucking video? Probably not. Probably not. Because I've been dealing with fucking haters, trolls, naysayers, and assholes for 20 fucking years starting today. 20 fucking years, people. And like I said, on February 15th, 2003, I created the first the first Howling Wolf account. And I was Lone Howling Wolf back then. I've had this Yahoo account for ages. 20 years as of tomorrow. I will have had this this Yahoo account. 20 fucking years. It's like, Jesus Christ, where did it all go? Where did it fucking go? I don't know. But, yeah, like I said, if I had a judge on a percent scale, my experience on the internet in the last 20 years, if I had to say, I would say that probably 2% of the 20 years was good, and 98% of the fucking percent of the time, I was an outcast, I was belittled, I was made fun of, I was trolled, I was harassed, I was bullied. Tried to start an online radio station, which I still have. Nobody fucking owned. Which I still own, but nobody fucking listens to it, is what I meant to say. And, yeah, because that's the other thing I meant to say. Back in 2007, going back a little bit, when we went from Yahoo to Pal Talk, I met Amanda. The one that all you guys know as Amanda. I met Jay. In 2007. And I tried to work for Amanda's radio station. But Amanda liked country radio. I couldn't stand country radio. And Amanda's best friend in Australia by the name of Paige, she liked fucking, hip hop and the newer rock and roll. She didn't like me playing classic rock. And she had access to the radio server. And what she kept doing is every time I would do a radio show in 2007, she'd log into the fucking computer and boot me off the server. She couldn't they'd knock me off the server all the time. So, the way emo has always been, getting erratic and getting fucking flying off the handle, said to Amanda, get her in the Proud Talk room. I need to talk to this bitch. And I was furious at the time. I was fucking angry. I was fucking furious. And like I said, this is where I met Amanda and Jay, 2007. 2007, because I was looking for it might have been, around 2007 is when I met them both in Pal Talk. And like I said, Amanda and Jay Amanda had a radio station that Jay was working for, and I tried working for for Amanda's radio station. But like I said, Paige, the cunt that she is, I'll call her a cunt still to this day. The cunt that she was kept booting me off the server. So I get into a fucking Pal Talk room with Paige, and I get into and Jay's there, and I came unglued. I said, Amanda wants me to DJ for her. And Amanda was going by a different name at the time, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. But Amanda was going by a different name at the time, and I said, and he was going, and I say he because he was a he then, and everybody knows he's a tranny, so I'm not saying that to, belittle him, But at the time, I was like, your fucking girlfriend, she's a stupid fucking cunt. She's always fucking kicking me off the server. She's a fucking cunt. She's a fucking this. She's a fucking that. And I lost it. I absolutely fucking lost it. And Amanda looked at me and said, well, if you can't work with Paige, I'm going to have to let you go. So in June of 2007, after getting fired from Amanda's radio station, in my opinion, because she's like, well, if you can't get along with Paige, I'm going to have to let you go, and you're going to have to find another place to do your DJ show. And I kept doing the DJ show on Blog TV with or without Amanda's radio station, and I started my radio station, which I still have to this day, which nobody listens to the fucking thing. I pay $800 a year in operating costs, because I do pay royalties for the station. The station does pay the artists for the content that you hear at whwf.co. And, yeah, so, during that time, that was a rough time. And, like I said, Jay has been flopping back and forth ever since. I'm not saying that in a bad way. He'll come to work for me for a while when he's fighting with Amanda. Then he'll go back to Amanda's station. Then he'll come back to me. Then he'll go back to Amanda. Then he'll come back to me. And he'll go back to Amanda. And then he'll come back to me. Then he'll go to Amanda. And then now they're doing this Panda FM thing where he totally fucking left me again. So, I'm tired of that back and forth shit. Would I take DJJ back as a fucking DJ? I don't know. Because I'm tired of that fucking revolving door. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And Amanda has had several radio stations since 2007. She has not maintained or operated her original radio station. She still does not. She hasn't operated her, because that's the same thing with Amanda. She'll run the radio station for a while, get bored with it, quit. Start another one, get bored and quit. But my radio station's been open straight since 2007. Have we had multiple servers? Have we changed servers many, many times? And, yeah. Yeah. And in the beginning, Howling Wolf FM actually had fucking a lot of listeners. Had a lot of fucking listeners in the beginning, because back when that radio station started, 102.9 WBLM had their A to Z classic rock list on their website. I copied that website, and back when Napster and fucking LimeWire and all that shit was popular, I downloaded 102.9 WBLM's entire fucking playlist. And for a while I was calling myself, because they go by the 102.9 Maine's Rock and Roll Blimp. I was calling myself Maine's Rock and Roll Blimp of the Internet. Howling Wolf FM. And I had a good fucking... I had listeners. I had listenership when it started. What killed my radio station, guys, and why it's pretty much dead as it is today, is because I was doing great. I was getting all kinds of people listening to my internet server, because a lot of people in the part of Maine where I was living couldn't get 102.9. You could get it on a car radio, but you couldn't get it in a stereo. So I pretty much copied 102.9 WBLM when I started my radio station. Pretty much, I had their fucking A to Z. I pretty much printed out the whole fucking list, and I downloaded over 5,000 fucking songs when fucking Howling Wolf FM started. I almost downloaded 5,000 songs. But what fucked me is in 2009, 102.9 WBLM saw what I was doing, saw the listenership I had. So what did they do in September 2009? Can you guess? They got their own motherfucking server, and then they started going, "Oh, listen to us live at 102.9 WBLM.com," and my ratings went. And around that time, that's when a lot of fucking mainstream radio stations started streaming on the internet because they saw that internet radio stations were popular. They saw how many internet radios, how many fucking listeners, fucking radio stations online radio stations were getting, and all the big radio stations wanted a piece of that. So around 2009, all the radio stations started one by one simulcasting their fucking stream on the fucking internet. And then around the same time in 2009, 2010, then you had Apple Music where you could create your own playlists. And you had fucking Spotify. And you had fucking XM radio that you could either listen to in your fucking car or your fucking or on your fucking computer. And when all this shit ramped up, my listeners went in the tank, and now the radio station, I've been running the radio station pretty much since 2009 with no fucking listeners, and I keep it going. I still have it going. And I'll tell you another thing. I used to broadcast the Super Bowl. First 4 or 5 years that my radio station was on the internet, I used to broadcast the Super Bowl. And I used to have third world countries tuning in to the fucking Super Bowl. I used to get, 600 or 700 listeners watching the Super Bowl streams. And I had a great time rebroadcasting the Super Bowl. And at the time, I was using a server called Listen to My Radio. There was a server called Listen to My Radio, and they had video streaming, and they had shoutcast streaming. And I used to video and shoutcast the fucking game on the internet. And I used to have people in third world countries that had no access to cable TV, that had no fucking access to fucking... And I can say this now because the statute of limitation of when that happened back in 2007, years ago, it's pretty much ran out. If they tried to sue me now, they probably wouldn't stand up in court. And I used to have all these third world countries that couldn't listen to the fucking Super Bowl because they had no access to American TV. And I used to restream the fucking game and have a fun. And the first 4 or 5 years of streaming the Super Bowl, baby, that radio station used to get buku listeners. Used to get... And then all of a sudden, what the hell happened? About 5 or 6 layers later, after I started streaming the game, they were like, "Oh, you can watch tonight's NFL game live on our streaming platform at NFL.com. And once NFL went live, where they started just like the fucking radio stations that fucked me. Remember I told you I used to have fucking listeners until the fucking radio stations fucked me by all of them going on internet radio? Well, what fucked me with the Super Bowl is now all of a sudden the fucking Super Bowl was now being streamed by the NFL on the fucking internet. So I couldn't fucking win. But these were, shit like that was the great times on the internet. What I've been going through the last couple of years with the trolls, no, that's not the great times. But yeah, I mean, and it all started today. With that computer. In this house. That was the beginning of it, folks. That was the beginning of it. So, yes, I knew this was going to be a long-winded video. I knew that this was, going to be entertaining to you. And I hope you enjoyed this fucking video. And, yeah, because that's the computer I had right there, the Dimension 2350, minus that big fucking speaker next to the tower. And I still have that computer. I still have that original desk. So when you saw that desk on Kimball Avenue and you used to say, Emo, why the fuck is your desk beat up? And you used to show that desk on fucking live streams in 2021, 2020, and 2022. You saw that desk. It was beat the fuck up. Why? Because it was because it was old, people. I bought that desk on this day 20 fucking years ago, and I still have that fucking desk. And I still have my original fucking computer, too. I still have it, guys. I still fucking have it. So. But there you have it. And like I said, tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. U.S. Standard Time, when I got up in the morning and created my new Yahoo account, because like I told you, I used my real fucking name in the first Yahoo account I created. I created my fucking first Howling Wolf Nick at 8 in the morning. So, when it becomes 8 o'clock, I would say between 8 and 9 in the morning. So, we'll say 9 o'clock tomorrow. So when tomorrow comes at 9 o'clock New York time, will mark the 20th anniversary of Emo using the Howling Wolf name. And not to be confused with the blues singer. The blues singer spelled it Howlin, no G, space WOLF is how the original blues musician spelled his name. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't want to, clone the blues musician's name. I didn't want to take it after the blues guy because I wasn't taking it after the blues guy. I was taking it because I like the way wolves howl. And there I go getting stuffed up again. God damn it. This part I'll cut out. I like Howling Wolves. That's why I came up with the name Howling Wolf. So I actually made my first Howling Wolf moniker tomorrow at fucking 9 a.m. will be the 20th anniversary of me using the Howling Wolf name. And I've been using the Howling Wolf name for 20 fucking years. 20 fucking years I've been using the Howling Wolf name. Alright, I didn't really want this to be a fucking hour video, but it is what it is. But yeah. So, it all started when the fucking post office, the UPS driver, came up to my house, the house I was living in at the time in Rhode Island, came to that fucking front door and said, dude, here's your Dell. And in my opinion, I'll end it with this. In my fucking opinion, that dude, you're getting a Dell commercial. That dude, you're getting a Dell commercial campaign was one of the best campaigns that Dell had. It sold Dell a lot of. It made Dell sell, not sold. It made Dell sell a lot of computers. It actually made Dell sell a lot of fucking computers. And I'll end it with this. And you can look this up if you don't believe me, because I know the trolls are like, "Oh, you're always full of shit, email." Well, the original dude, you're getting a Dell guy. The reason why that campaign ended is because the kid got arrested for having weed on him, folks. Yeah. You got to remember 20 years ago, a lot of people didn't like marijuana. A lot of people said marijuana was controversial. A lot of people thought marijuana was a big no-no. See, what happens is, if you're going to be a spokesman for a company, you sign what they call a morality clause. And when you do that morality clause, you're not allowed to do anything, i.e. getting arrested for dope. You're not allowed to get arrested for dope or do anything stupid that will make the company look stupid and hurt. That will make the company look stupid. It's called a morality clause. And because the kid got arrested for having marijuana, they fired that kid and then did the "Dude, you're getting a Dell" commercial. But I still remember when a UPS driver came to my house and delivered the fucking first computer. And I would say it was around the 3 o'clock hour, about the time I'm ending this video, because it's 3:57 in the afternoon. I would say by about this time, 20 years ago, on this day, I was setting up my first computer. Because it came to the house at 3-something. I don't remember the exact time, but I know the fucking date. At least I know that much. And, yeah. It's been a hell of a ride, though. It's been a hell of a ride. And is there a lot of shit during that ride that I would like to not repeat again? Yeah. Most of what happened during this last 20 years, I would not like to repeat again. I'm just being honest. So, yeah, 20 years ago today, I got that first computer. And like I said, it's a shame they fired that Dell's getting the Dell, dude, you're getting the Dell guy. That was an outright shame. Now, if they were doing, if that guy was doing that you're getting the Dell commercial nowadays, if he was doing that, "Dude, you're getting the Dell commercial nowadays," he would fucking, they'd be like, "Oh, you got arrested for dope? No big deal, because every state allows dope now." Marijuana. Practically, it's almost legal throughout the whole fucking U.S. in some form, shape, or form. And it's going to be legal throughout the whole U.S. But back then, 20 years ago, they were like, "No, you got arrested for drugs. We're trying to model computers to a young audience. We can't have you advertising for us. We're going to fire you." And in 2005, went bye-bye to "Dude, you're getting it down." And with that, "Dude, I'm getting the fuck out of here."